Hello, my name is Dave O'Sullivan and welcome to my tutorial on VMware vCenter Site Recovery Manager version 5 with EMC VNX arrays using MirrorView. Okay, so we'll quickly have a look at the hardware that we're going to be using for this lab. I've got two sites set up. So my production site will be called Athena and my DR site will be called Pandora. I've got two VNX arrays. The Athena array, the 5300, will be on my production site, and the 5700 will be on the DR site, which is called Pandora. So the same applies for my ESX server setup. I have one server, they're both high-end Dell boxes. So on the SRM, on the Athena side, we will have our production VMs running within a data store. This data store will then be replicated using MirrorView over to our DR site, which is called Pandora. Okay, so let's talk about some of the prerequisites that are required for the arrays and what you need to set up. So on both sides, obviously, we need to have the enablers available on the array. So I've got my MirrorView S, MirrorView A, and my snapshot enablers installed on both arrays. The next thing that you'd want to ensure is set up correctly before you do any SRM stuff is your zoning. Very important. So let's have a quick look at that. So basically all I did really was made note of the WWNs for the MirrorView ports that are in use, and basically zone those to the MirrorView ports on the DR side, which you can see here. You'd want to ensure that this zoning is set up correctly, otherwise once you get to a very late stage during the SRM setup, it will not complete for you and you'll be stuck at a very frustrating stage. So just ensure that your zoning is set up correctly before you proceed. Okay, so let's flip back to the production array. So what we're going to do, we're just going to set up a LUN presented to the ESX, to the storage group that the ESX is in, put some VMs into that LUN, and then we'll mirror it with MirrorView over to the DR site. So you can see here I've got a lot of LUN set up already, so I'll just quickly set up a new LUN, and we'll say it's 30 gig, and we'll just call it tests for now. That'll do. Now at this stage we just really have to ensure that the new LUN that we've created has to be added into the same storage group that the ESX is in. So there's our new LUN that I spelled incorrectly, and let's just add that to the appropriate storage group. So there we go. So on the production side, Athena, we have one ESX host, which is the Dell 710C zoned to the VNX. So we just want to pop that in there just to make sure that the ESX can see the LUN. So simple as that really. So let's flick over to our ESX server and just make sure that we can see that new 30 gigabyte LUN. Okay, so this is our our ESX running within attached to a virtual center on the Athena side. So we'll just rescan the HBAs, and I think it should be zoned to this guy, and we should see that new data store pop up. Okay, let's have a quick look there, and there it is, 30 gigabyte data store. Okay, so let's flick back to the array and set up the DR side array for MirrorView. So let's just have a quick look at Athena. So the LUN that we just set up there was a 30 gigabyte LUN, so we want to create an empty 30 gigabyte LUN on our DR side as well. So let's quickly do that. I don't think it really matters what we call it. Okay, so that's up and running there. Okay, next thing we got to remember is to add that LUN also to the appropriate storage group so the ESX server can see it. So there's a storage group that the ESX host is in, pop it in there. Okay, so now we can flip back to the Athena, the production side array, and let's prepare this LUN to be replicated to the DR side. So we're going to select data protection for that, mirrors, and use the mirror wizard because it's easy. Okay, so we can skip the first screen here. Something to note here, the wizard is asking you for the ESX host on the source production side that has access to the LUN that you want to mirror. So in this case that is going to be 710C, the ESX host that's zoned to the Athena array. Okay, so we see Athena there. It's now going to ask us to select the LUN that we want to mirror to the DR side. So that should be this guy here. And we'll just add it in down there. Next. It's going to be replicated to Pandora. That's fine. Okay, these are two different MirrorView types, MirrorView A and MirrorView S. Either option has performance differences depending on the distances between the two sites. So in this example, we're just going to pick MirrorView S. If you were to select MirrorView A, the setup is the exact same. The sync rate. Okay, I'm going to leave this default for now, but this will also depend on the distances between your two sites and exactly, you know, how fast you want your data kind of replicated from production to DR. So we'll just leave it medium. Okay, so everything's fine there. You can specify different storage pools or secondary storage pools. In this case, I'm just going to stick with the defaults and use the storage pool that I already have all my other stuff in. Yes, please. And now this screen is asking us to select the server that we want to assign the mirror to, which is going to be the ESX on the DR side, which is 710G. Okay. And the wizard is just flying through it there. Wait for it to finish. Okay, that's what we like to see. Lots of green things. Okay. So let's have a look at that mirror. What it's supposed to look like. There's our guy there. So you can see it there. We have our two different images, our primary and our secondary image. Obviously the primary image is in an active state because it's up and running on the primary site, and it's synchronizing to the DR site. These are other mirrors that are in use within my SRM setup, just to give you a look at what they look like when they're up and running. So primary active, secondary site consistent, normal. That's what you want to see. As far as MirrorView goes, that's pretty much it on the array side. Everything else is going to be managed by the SRA within SRM. So in this example, we're actually not going to use the LUN that we just created. We're going to use these existing mirrors that I have with VMs up and running on it. Okay. Okay. So let's flick back to the virtual center. So in our setup, the LUN that I created and replicated with MirrorView, for example, is this guy here, SRM VMs. So let's have a quick look. Yes, these two guys here. So I've got two VMs in this resource pool. Some things to notice is that you've got to ensure that tools are running on the VMs properly, or SRM will fail miserably. So those guys, just two simple VMs. Obviously, if it's in a proper environment, things are going to be a lot larger. But for testing, I'm just going to use two VMs just to demonstrate what we need to do. Okay, so that's fine. So let's go back and have a look at our LUNs there. So on the production side, SRM VMs is visible and added to the storage inventory. If we flick over to Pandora, the DR site, we can see that the SRM VM data store is not visible within the storage inventory. Just make note that it's 120 gigs, and even if we go to add storage, it should not be visible there either. Okay, so it's not there. So the data store is being replicated, it is presented to the host, but we just can't see it at the moment. The SRA will manage all the adding and removing of the replicated data store into the storage group and rescanning of the HBAs, so the ESX can see it at the appropriate time. Okay, so let's go back and have a look at SRM.